Hey, 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 all you hip, cool, beautiful cats. My name is Kit. This is the wonderful, incredible Kira. She's in the house.
I am in the house.
There you go. And today we got ourselves a fun video to react to. Before we do, look at this. What? There we go, right there.
What? Okay.
What?
What?
What? There was a girl in one of my college classes. Like when she was ever called upon by the professor, she'd be like, "What?" Like honestly, yeah, no, because sometimes she wasn't paying attention. She'd be like, "Wait, what?"
That sounds like she's not paying attention.
No, she wasn't.
No, okay, so yeah,
like no. Somehow she passed. There you go. Good on her. But it was just like one of those people like, "What?" It's like,
I have such a funny story to tell, but it'd be too long-winded to tell because we're introducing a video, and
there we go.
we should play that video. Hey,
yeah, there you go.
We stream Monday through Saturday on Chicago Plays, Monday through Sunday, actually.
That's right. So now, without further ado,
We are watching Meet the new AK-50 V3 update.
number 2. Shout out to
Number 2.
Brandon Herrera again. He is somebody that's really cool. You should be subscribed to his channel. But also, Brandon, look, buddy. I mean, I like to try out some of that Texas barbecue.
All we do is have to do is set a date.
Yeah,
I would say
we got a date. We got a date downtown, and yes, I will bring you flowers. No, I don't know, maybe.
Okay, so what's like the first season that is even like available? So I would say spring. So we, to go travel out of the state.
That's right, spring.
I have a lot going on. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
but. So we'll start there.
Yeah, we'll start there.
Maybe we look at March because it's probably lovely in Texas in March and it's shitty in Chicago in March.
Yeah, so Brandon.
And I'm just yearning to get the fuck out of Chicago in March or April.
And let me say one thing here,
so
Brandon.
Maybe we look around that time, 2023. This is like, instead of being like, oh, we should go. We just pick a fucking date.
Or either that, you know what? Let's go directly to his studio, pound the door like, all right, dude. Start cooking us that Texas
part. We want to organize it with them, but that's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Let's watch this video.
Let's watch this video. There you go, buddy. Yeah. All right. Studio work.
Time to film. Let's see what we got here. What's cool enough to do a video with? Let's try the gun room.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, anything interesting?
Let's try the gun room. It's probably a good place to start.
I don't know how I'm feeling it. We've already showed off a lot of this stuff. Let's try gun room number 2.
Number 2.
Doesn't really come in here very much. Got a lot of our, little classics and whatnot. Got our classics.
Focus on that camera.
Rifles, right?
It's all blurry.
I'm trying to be smart about guns.
Model 1887, little Terminator 2 action.
My boomstick.
Terminator 2.
It made me think of fucking Ash from Evil Dead.
Evil Dead 1, 2, and yes, Army of Darkness.
Movies are so good.
If you don't gotta get it, and if you don't get it, go figure it out.
Always got our trusty noob tube.
Yep.
I mean, we could do the 50.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why not?
The comment section seems to just not really like it whenever we talk about AK-50 stuff, Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
It's always great when presents arrive.
What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? Yep, that's right. It's time to talk about the AK-50 again. I know we haven't done an update in a few months. There's a couple reasons for that. One, we don't spend all our time working on the 50, just kind of whenever we've got some free time or whenever we feel particularly inspired. But 2 is that I just don't want to do updates all the time and really tell you nothing or tell you menial updates. So I wait until we've got enough that's changed on it to actually talk about. And now, as you can see, I think it's finally time we do another update. Tell you what exactly is going on with our almost finished design of the AK-50 V3. So let's get into exactly what the hell this is.
It's a very big gun.
Not this. That's a great
very big gun.
Is
what that is.
Hey, Brandon, in case there's a zombie apocalypse, man, I'm rolling with you, buddy, okay? Yeah.
I think I have an uncle who has a well arsenal bunker in Missouri or something. So
always in Missouri,
going in that direction.
There you go. Hey, yes, and for all those my friends who've watched me play Twitch's Project Zomboid, that is a fun game.
What is it?
Project Zomboid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of it. That's why I paused there for a minute because I was like, actually, that kind of sounds familiar, and I don't know why it would sound familiar to me.
It's a fun game.
Back in its home. Okay. What is this?
A gun.
Big one. Nice big.
A big gun.
So for
That's
the
a
benefit of
big
those
gun.
of us who have joined us, in the last few months and don't exactly know what an AK-50 is, because we have actually gained a couple 100,000 subscribers since the last time we did an update. So the AK-50 is a project, kind of a rolling project that we've had, for years now, where we've been attempting to build an AK platform 50 cal, like 50 BMG, which sounds hard, and I guarantee you, it's harder.
I don't know what BMG means.
That's what she said. Now, a lot of
It is what she
It's
said.
harder.
It's harder. Whoa, it's harder.
people hear 50 cal and they think, well, I've seen ARs at my local gun store chambered in 50 cal, like 50 Beowulf. Why don't you guys just do that instead? Well, for one, 50 Beowulf is stinky and I don't like it. For two, we already did that. And it was super easy, which is number 3. This was literally designed to feed out of an AR-15 magazine. It was made to feed an intermediate cartridge rifles, semi-automatic rifles. So this is not even in the same league as 50 BMG. These are very, very different cartridges. Brandon Herrera subscribers. People who pee sitting down.
Oh, you want to be big.
I pee sitting down.
Well, okay.
I mean, unless I'm outside and then I have to squat.
Yeah, I mean, unless let's say, I have nothing. I have nothing to really follow up on that one. I mean, but in
if
spirit,
we're talking about
but in spirit, you are Brandon Herrera subscriber though. In spirit. Okay, I hope I'm not canceled. Oh boy. Here it comes. The internet is like, oh.
No, I'm just curious about the point he's about to make about people who sit down when they pee, because that's me.
Which one do you want to be? Don't be this guy. Subscribe.
Oh, it's also
now you
for
might
guys,
be saying,
for
Brandon,
guys.
this doesn't really look like an AK. Where's the wood? Where's this? Well, it's not going to look 100% aesthetically like an AK because you're sizing it up. However, well, first of all, square cube law exists. Google it. So it's not going to be able to be a 1-to-1 scaled up AK. That just doesn't, that's not how physics work. And for two, while we're scaling it up, the person is going to stay the same size. So length of pull, which is the distance from your shoulder to, for example, where the trigger is.
That looks like it hurt.
That is going to stay the same size no matter how big the gun is, or what caliber for that matter.
How do you hold that? Okay, I haven't seen a fire yet, so I'm just
problems to this gun that we had to solve, and I think we've done an interesting job at tackling them, while still keeping it as AK as we can, because at the end of the day, this operating system is 100% AK. Got a gas-operated rotating bolt operating system with a long stroke gas piston. I mean, hell, even the fire control group is still 100% AK. You can use an unmodified AK fire control group in this gun, and it takes AK pistol grips. You can't really ask for much more than that.
I don't know what most of that means.
On here that kind of take inspiration from a lot of AKs, and other Soviet weapons, a lot of which also designed by Mikhail Kalashnikov, such as the PKM. So now the last AK-50 update we did, you might remember we had a couple of these parts that we had 3D printed and had kind of mocked up for you guys. We probably went back to the drawing board on every single one of those since then, just on, little tweaks and changes and things we wanted to modify.
So this is the same one that they did in the last video.
Is of course almost entirely
Just
3D
updated.
printed. There's a couple of real parts like the pistol grip.
Completely 3D printed?
Entirely 3D
Maybe not all.
as a mock-up,
He said entirely,
so we can see
as a
how the
mock-up.
gun is going to actually function when all put together, just to make sure that our files are right and everything, and work together the way that we want them to before we go and have it actually made.
How do you
which gets very
test for
expensive
that,
and
though,
takes
with
a
a
very
mock?
long fucking time. Now,
You
even
will
just
tell
what you
us.
see in front of you, this 3D print right here,
Oh yes. So I guess it's all 3D printed.
That's what I'm saying.
Possibly
I didn't know.
thousands of man hours have gone into getting the V3 where you see it in front of you. So R&D on stuff like this is very much not cheap, which is where we'd normally do a sponsored spot.
Yeah,
right
I was
now.
waiting for the
However,
sponsor.
I think it's fitting because it's an AK-50 video. This video sponsor is by me. Figured we just pimp out the merch, the classic Let's Go Brandon AK-50 V2 shirt. This is available over at Bunker Branding over at my store there, so I'm going to leave the
I've got to get his shirt about the balls. I got to get that one.
Oh, what was that? That shirt was really funny.
Yes, I'm gonna. Promise is a promise is a promise. I will get it. I promise.
links down in the description and the pinned comment if you guys want to pick it up. I promise you, all of the proceeds will either go directly into the AK-50 R&D or
Or our barbecue that you're gonna invite us to.
they will go into alcohol and loose women.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett. Hold on. Wait.
That's awesome. I want to be there.
Brandon,
And Coke.
wait.
And except I wouldn't do Coke.
No, never you. No, Kira, no. But Brandon, look, hey, this party with the booze and loose women. Can we come too?
Yeah, can we be there?
Hold on, it's like those quiet nerds when the jocks are like in the background. Like, can we come too? Can we hang out with you guys? Hey, we think you're cool. Brandon,
Shit.
type in the comment section below.
Okay, stop embarrassing yourself. Let's
All
start the
right.
video.
All right, I just want to have fun with the booze and the guns and the loose women. Oh, there we go. It's okay.
I can keep that promise.
Yeah.
This
Yes!
is all a
He said it to me.
He did say it to you. That's right.
That means we're going.
I was here to witness it.
That means we're going. There we go.
pretty much functional 3D printed mock-up. You can see the bolts even rotating, like, sorry for the sound of the scraping plastic,
Kind of like it.
but this gun is
it's
actually functional, and I'll show you the guts. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
First aesthetic thing you might
Show me
notice
your
here
guts.
is our stock. Now, we've gone back and forth on a lot of revisions of the stock, different ideas that we had. Now, nothing we were really 100% happy with, but I like the way that this is now turned out. So here you've got, this is gonna be our rubber butt pad here, and this is our support for shooting prone. Let me do this here. Knock over all my fucking ammo. But this is a nice little support for the shooter to be able to grab onto. A lot of
that's
you know,
good.
50 cals and weapons like this have that as well. And we took inspiration from the PKM style stock. So it's got that kind of very PKM Soviet contour going on. I really like that. Another thing we have here is the bulged front trunnion, which is a feature that a lot of the other AKs have. Like
Way to be mature,
Bulge.
Kira. Way to be
He said
mature.
bulge. I was-
RPKs.
It's a word. It's a funny
The
word.
PSLs, anytime you've got a beefier front end, like if you're going to do an RPK or heavier caliber, a lot of the AKs opt for that bulge front trunnion, which looks just really cool on the receiver. We've also got, of course, the sexy AK Magwell dimple here. Does it
Dimple.
absolutely need one? Does it need that for integrity? Probably not, but you have to admit, it does look hot.
It does.
This is, of course, without the rivets, because we are using a stamped receiver on this variant of the AK-50. Hence the bulged front trunnion and everything. This is all gonna be stamped sheet metals. Now, we tested that on the AK-50 V2, and it actually worked shockingly well.
Damn.
Ooh.
A lot of problems still with that gun, but really none of
That
them
was all. I
stem
wonder
from
what
the
that
receiver.
how that
So
base
just
is.
another way that was a very,
anchored.
very informative, successful test, I think.
Oh,
Do you think it's just super heavy? Do you think
Yeah.
it's like
Now moving up to the front here, we've got our hand guard, which I think looks pretty damn aesthetic. We've got a couple things that we've altered on this since, but this is good enough for government work right now. Got our gas block here, direct inspiration from the AK, and we have a modified JMac style brake. JMac, of course, JMac Customs makes some of my favorite brakes for the AK, some of the best performing ones in my opinion, and they're homies. We like them. So it only made
there you
sense,
go,
keeping true to the AK aesthetic while also being very functional, that we would include a JMac. Now, one of the biggest challenges with the AK-50 has always been, what are we gonna do with dust cover and stock and all that? And how are we gonna handle optic mounting on a platform that retains zero? This is a huge gap to span on something that you want to hold zero. So we think we figured out at least one solution to that, and we're gonna test this and see if it actually works in the real one. So without further ado, let's get into disassembly. So as you can see here, got a little ring retainer at the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that out, rotate that to the side, and our dust cover should come off. There we are.
wow? It's
That
crazy
is
that that's printed.
our dust cover. And if you're wondering what
Wild.
this is, that's just how we're fusing the prints together. Obviously, these are huge prints, and our printers only have so much, bed space that are that you can use to actually print parts in. Maximum dimensions, that whole thing. So what we're having to do is print these in pieces and then put them together outside of the printer. Put that over here, and here we have our
Interesting.
not safe for work topless AK-50. So here we have a lot of new
Hey, let's pull out some
No,
ones.
we will not be coming topless to work, Kit.
No.
Request denied.
things going on. For one, we are missing.
What if the men want to come topless?
Free
Huh,
the
Kira?
nipple.
Huh?
Free the nipple.
What if the guys want to be here
I
topless?
still say no to that.
Well, clearly someone is believing in crazy puritanical logic.
Yes, that's what it is.
Hashtag it's 2022, not 1600.
Offer that will
Kira.
also be in this gun. We just don't have it in the model right now. Here you see our system that retains the dust cover from this side. We've got 2 tracks here. One back here in the rear trunnion, one here in the front that actually taper, that gets progressively tighter as it goes along.
Yeah, it does.
There's going to be a lot of that switch.
Yeah, it
in
does.
this video, just FYI.
Well, that would be what
But the
he
idea
said,
there
but
is
that
just
that's
progressive.
cool.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, whoa.
I mean, it could be what she said, but like,
yeah, but the guy could be like, whoa, it's getting tighter. So there you go.
No, I'm just, never mind. I won't get into where my imagination went with all of that. Let's just play the video.
And it allows it to tighten itself.
We're a
up
family-friendly
as it
channel,
locks
folks.
into
Really, we
position.
are.
So easy to align, but
Yeah.
also still holding.
We
zero.
are. Really, we
Our
are.
bolt carrier has undergone a lot of cosmetic upgrades as well as some functional ones. But one that you'll notice here is that this is very strange. It has a pin through it where it's hinged instead of threaded. Now, if you compare this to the AK-50 V2 piston, we have of course, our piston threaded in with this just kind of acting as a locking nut, which is kind of funny because this is just a muzzle nut from a typical AKM. We kind of thought that would be a fun Easter egg. But it's threaded into the bolt carrier and is pinned with a rivet, right there, just like a traditional AKM.
Stop making
We thought
fun
that
of
would be
people.
a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah. What do you say from your ivory tower? Huh.
My
dork.
ivory tower is not an ivory tower. I just think it's funny.
You like
I'm
dork?
a dork about stuff.
Would be.
I didn't
Also,
say
you
like an
know,
insult.
yeah,
That's just
this
your
is,
listening kit.
This is pretty crude and, little, fallout looking compared to what we're hoping this is going to turn out like. But hey, what can you say? It fucking worked.
Oh, they need a tire for that.
So we got some swoopy cuts here that we kind of cloned from
Swoopy
the
cuts.
76.
Swoopy.
Just some
Swoopity
sexiness
woo.
here.
Swoopy. I'm going to use that word.
Cosmetically, I
Swoopy.
think helps the gun a good bit. But the reason why this is here, this hinge, is the original one, the original V2. You probably remember we had a bit of an issue pulling it out of the gun at certain points because when you have this back and aligned with the holes cut in the receiver rails to be able to disassemble the gun, because it's so long, the piston is still somewhat retained by the gas tube. Problem. So in the original AK-50, the V2,
Take your word for
we were
it.
having to try to rotate it out and it was super tight and it just really wasn't, it was not very effective, right? So what we decided to do on this one
Not enough lube.
is hinge it.
Yeah, hey, when in doubt, lube it up.
That's right.
There you go.
So it can very
Your partner will
easily
thank you.
be removed while still being plenty sturdy. And if you're thinking that that is a genius design solution, you're correct because
It is.
we got it from an actual genius, Mikhail Kalashnikov. So in
There we go.
PKM, he did the same thing because he encountered a similar problem. Weird, it's like you run into new problems as you size up calibers of your designs. But the PKM really had a lot in common with the AK. It's a big upside down AK that is belt fed. For people who don't know, Mikhail Kalashnikov also, again, very heavily involved in the design of PKM to the point where on PKM, the K stands for Kalashnikov, just like an AKM, where it's just PK modernized. But yep, he's also got his own hinged piston here. And we just thought that was a really neat design idea, and that's what we incorporated into
Is
this
the K and AK
So here,
Kalashnikov?
something we were
Is that what he just
really
said?
fighting
Yeah,
with was,
probably
again,
so, too.
lug contact. Things started getting better toward the end. We were able to kind of figure this out a little bit. But we still want more lug contact in this track here. And this track, of course, the rotating bolt part of the AK is, again, completely borrowed from the
Wow.
Now, as you can see from the 3D print here, we have significantly beefed up the lug by a lot. This is a beefy, beefy lug
That's
now.
beefy lug.
And the contact area
That is
here
a
inside
beefy
of this
lug.
track is
No, Betty has more of a. It's a beefy lug. Come on, Kara. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. It's a beefy lug.
cam groove.
I don't even know what that's about, but
on the
I play
bolt
along.
carrier is significantly greater. So we're hoping that that's going to help us with a lot of our potential smearing issues and such.
Okay.
But another thing that you might notice, if you push it back directly flat, it doesn't rotate. Now this is not the way the V2 functioned. The V2 would rotate because there was no flat spot in the cam groove, and that was intentional. This is because of one of the bigger changes that we've made between the V2 and the V3, which is why we think it's gonna work a lot better, one of the many, many reasons. We've actually incorporated helical lockup, which the original AK did as well. This was something that, in moving to the tri-lug, we kind of abandoned, but we're coming back around to it again because we think it's gonna work better and because it's just more AK. So if you look here, these lugs are not flat. So they are on the V2, and it's kind of always been that way. Now on the V3, if you notice, these are helical. So basically, as the bolt is coming through the receiver here and into the front trunnion, it is threading itself in, kind of like a screw. It is rotating.
Yeah,
Once it hits here, we're incorporating a system, basically, not to get too complicated right off the bat, but much
Too
like
late.
Saigas have, for
Too
example.
late.
Let me just find you one.
Too
Here we have a
late.
410 Saiga to kind of demonstrate my point here. That is a bump rivet or bump pin or whatever you'd like to call it. Let's open this bad boy up. If you see this little guard here that helps close the gap in the dust cover on this 410 shotgun, and you see the little cutout up here to accommodate that upgrade, you could start drawing some conclusions about what we're doing with V3, but we'll save that for another day. But basically, if you look through on the inside of this trunnion, and sorry, it does look a little weird with the barrel here because it is a shotgun. They're a little funky, but it's that little rivet right there that's poking out. That is what that is. And basically that just creates a spot that cams the bolt. It starts the rotation of the bolt. The rest of the rotation of the bolt's done by the cam groove, but that is just something to just kind of hit the bolt a little bit at the front that begins the rotation. So we're hoping all of that is going to help us with just feeding, function, just the entire guts of the gun is really just the bolt carrier, the bolt, and the front trunnion. That's where your lockup occurs. That is where you're gonna have the most problems typically, and I really hope that this is what kind of irons out pretty much everything. We've also beefed up the front trunnion significantly as well. As you can see here, that's a pretty hefty little feed path there that we're hoping works a lot better. Nice little tapers in everywhere. You engineer folks are gonna love that. It's also beefed up with the bulge here, which is just gonna allow more meat on the threads there for the barrel.
More. Hey, hold on. Wait.
Come on.
Hold on. Wait.
Come on.
More meat.
Gonna beef it up or it's gonna have more meat.
Hold on. Wait, Kira.
Okay, I got it.
Kira, hold on. Wait.
Jesus.
Check it out. More meat.
Barrel threading in, just a lot more support. 50 BMG is a big fucking round. You don't want it to do things it's not supposed to do. Some other YouTubers that we know have experienced that firsthand, and it is not fun. Now, before we talk about the handguard, because that is kind of neat, we've got our barrel here. One of the most obvious things you'll see about it is that it is fluted up front. Doing this for a few reasons. One, for weight savings. The more weight you save on the front of the gun, the easier it is to actually hold if you wanted to be a psychopath and shoulder fire this thing standing, which of course I'm going to do. So we do it for weight reduction, for heat mitigation, because this actually does help quite a lot to have this fluting here, and 3, because it looks dope as fuck. Now for the handguard, one of the things that we came up with that I'm super proud of, because I think it's super neat, is our retainer system here. So this handguard is obviously, it's pretty hefty, and it's not gonna work quite like an AK is going to. That's just the fucking nature of the beast. However, we were able to sneak a little AK Easter egg in there. So our handguard retainer works just like an AK handguard retainer lever, but upside down. So what retains the lower handguard on the AK is this little bit here, aptly called the lower handguard retainer. Very, very inventive. So there's a lever on it here that if you swivel up, allows this to come out. Now, of course, you can't swivel it up.
So somebody's calling our studio right now. That's the phone.
So what?
I don't know. I don't know who's trying to reach us right now.
Doesn't matter.
And it's got a
We're
gas
watching
tube on it. There's a
Brandon.
little ferrule
Nothing
there
matters.
Nothing
that prevents
matters.
that from
I was
coming
wondering
up
what that
and out,
is.
so your handguard doesn't fall out or anything. But yeah, you just basically move that lever up, remove your gas tube, and you are able to swivel that up and then move this out and forward. And then it comes back and it locks into place. So on the 50 here for the entire handguard, we have one that swivels out the opposite direction. And then you just kind of wiggle that here. Trying to be gentle with this because it's a 3D print. And then you pull this out. This one's not gonna be retained. It's just gonna pull all the way out on this model.
Okay.
Cool.
You can pull
Wow.
your handguard out.
Man, this is
There's your
crazy
gas
that
tube,
this is
by
all
the way.
3D printed.
Probably should have pulled that out first, but hey, whatever. Gonna unthread our brake real quick so we can actually get this handguard off. Yes, we did actually go back and recut these threads from the 3D printer so we could actually thread this on. We are a little extra. Take your
It's fine to
handguard
be a
off.
little extra. Brandon, never apologize for that. Always be extra.
Slides right off the front, and
Says
we have
Kit,
our
the most
handguard.
extra person anybody knows.
You're goddamn right. Oh, you hit the nail on the head with that one. It's okay to be extra, Brandon. You have my approval.
This is most likely going to be made out of.
Brandon be like, I'm already extra. I don't need you to be extra.
Yeah, I
to
don't
tell
need to be
me
extra
to be
with
extra.
me.
I don't need all that extra. No.
I will subdue everybody and just bring
As
down
you can
the
see
energy.
here, we
No
have our
worries.
barrel with more flutes because, like I said, weight savings, heat dissipation, and sexy. Also have our gas tube, pretty minimalist, nothing super crazy. It's gonna be a tight fit around this thicker portion of the barrel. We also
Yep.
have 2 pegs here that are going to be fitting directly into the front trunnion there to stop it from rotating side to side, or at least wanting to. And it helps it snug it up there. But I like the look of it, and I like the contours and the way that it meets the front trunnion. It kind of takes those body lines forward, like, you know, like this gun was actually meant to be together. I like continuity. I like that design shit. It's kind of neat. So then we take our handguard retainer lever again
Put it all back together.
through here,
Now this
back
thing
up, and we are
doesn't
again
shoot.
locked on.
So when are we
Now
gonna get to
assembling
see
the
it shoot?
Take our
I think
bolt,
we might see it at the end of the video,
put it
maybe.
back in our carrier,
Well,
bend
he's burying
knee,
the lead here. I thought, you know, we
and
get to
she's back
see it
together.
shoot.
Well,
Muzzle brake back on.
I
Nicely-
think
nicely
I hold on to hope.
3D printer guys
Oh,
are gonna love this shit. Smooth printed threads. Let's see Paul Allen's threads. Now we are ready to put our top cover, slide that
yeah,
back
put the top
on.
back on. Done being
Of
topless.
course, this goes back forward.
no more
And
toplessness,
voila,
guys.
you still have
Sorry.
your completed AK-50-ish. Now another problem you might have remembered from V2 is magazines. So it was kind of janky from the start. Our only way of retaining the magazine up front by the front tab, because we didn't really know where the front tab needed to sit for the mag elevation to be able to feed properly. We weren't 100% sure on that. So we used an Allen screw to kind of tension it to where it needed to sit. Once we found that out, once we found out where that was, it was still kind of funky because your front tab's locking on a fucking Allen screw. So now that we know the height that we need to get to that, we also have a mag well here to kind of help feed in and kind of give it that easy rock and lock that you would come to expect.
Lock
Of course,
and
we've
load.
got our optic rail, our Picatinny rail up top, which is why we're so anal retentive about, I guess, well, being retentive on the dust cover. Will this hold zero? I really fucking hope so, but we'll find out. So, what's left? Well, designing the V3 as it sits is like pretty much entirely finished. Now it's time to start making shit, which we've already started a little bit on. Like we've sent out some of the stampings to a friend of ours to try to get that made. So like our dust cover and our receiver, stuff like that. Already got a barrel blank on the way, so we're gonna be turning that in the mill and working on that part. Since in the shop all we have is our manual mill, we have a lot of limitations, so just like in the past, we're gonna have to get a lot of the stuff sent out, outsourced, and made. Which is
Yeah.
where I get to ask a favor. We're talking to machine
Hold on, wait.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Here it comes.
Hold on, wait.
Here it comes.
Wait,
Okay.
Kira, because we saw The Godfather, you know.
Yeah.
For this, you ask us a favor, and we offer our friendship for you, Brandon. And if anyone causes you problems, we'll give them. We'll be sure to get it situated. And we'll give them an offer they couldn't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
So just let your friends know in Chi-Town if you need any help. And we got you for this. I promise. On this day.
I don't know. Let's listen to the favor before we
shop
go
right
make
now.
promises.
We're getting quotes, and we're running into issues with people just not wanting to do one-off prototype work, which I completely understand. Specifically, parts like our front trunnion here are driving us crazy trying to get a shop that's willing to be able to do that. Speaking machinist real quick, the locking lugs in the front trunnion are going to require a little bit of plunge EDM, and then, of course, the machining to the actual part itself. We're getting ghosted by a lot of shops, and I figured it was time for me to ask the AKG notification squad if—
Hey, who's ghosting? That's not cool. It's not cool. It hurts to be ghosted.
you guys
Straight
work
up.
at a machine shop, or you run a machine shop, or ideally if you own a machine shop, and you'd be willing to help out with some of this stuff. I've got an email. I'll put it on the screen and in the description. Please don't say like, oh, I know a machine shop down the road, or my buddy's got a little, hobbyist CNC. Please, we're trying to keep this to like actual like serious machine shops that would be willing to work on this stuff. But if you guys work in that field and you'd be willing to tackle this, please shoot us an email. We don't want anything for free. We just want to be able to make the AK-50 as quickly and as accurately as possible. Now, there's a ton of other cool design features and
that's an awesome
just
scope
neat
that I got.
little stuff that we put in the AK-50 that I'd love to talk about. Didn't even talk about the safety selector. There's just a bunch of stuff here that I think is really cool. But if I went into all that shit, honestly, this would be a 30-fucking-minute video. You guys have been wondering where the progress is, and I think it's finally time that we can show you what it is that we've been working on. We'll mount an actual scope on the real one. I am super excited to finally make this gun a reality in a way that I'm proud of and not a way that looks like a janky garage prototype, even though I will remind you again for the 80th time that did work.
Yeah. It worked. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really excited to bring this gun to life, and I'm really excited that I got to show pretty much every step of the way to you guys. I think that's kind of neat. We're in this together. So anyhow, on that positive note,
That warm,
thank
fuzzy.
you guys for watching to the end.
You're welcome,
And as
Brandon.
always, I'll see you next time. Bye. Now the first. No. Fuck.
It's all right. I've been
We've
there.
got some swoopy cuts here that we've kind of
Swoopity woo.
already got a fuck. You guys are wondering. Oh, that is a terrible noise.
That is terrible.
It
Sorry.
is.
All right. Kira, I think we learned something.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think so. I don't know that I really understood anything that we learned, but
If you have a dream, go for it and make it happen. And Brandon, he has a dream. You know what, buddy? We here at Chicago React say good luck. I
we
hope
understand having dreams.
we hope that you're able to find the people that will make this device happen and
A reality for you.
a reality. And it'd be pretty cool, like if you invite us to Texas barbecue and we see it happen. Just saying, just saying.
All right.
I'm just-
All
I'm
right.
just throwing it
All
out there.
right.
All
That's
right.
enough.
We're done. All
That's
right.
enough.
Bye.